Hi, I'm Carolyn Moor with the Modern Widows Club. And why do we honor International Widows Day of Awareness, June 23rd? Because too many widows are suffering. I call myself a fortunate widow, as if being a widow is fortunate in any way. I have discovered that being born as a citizen in the United States is fortunate for widows around the world. In fact, being both a part of Modern Widows Club is the very best that it gets globally. Why? Because I didn't have to endure being held down against my will and having my head shaved, or being considered bad luck in my society, or have my kids torn from my arms and taken away, otherwise known as grabbing, or legally raped, called widow cleansing, by whichever brother-in-law or male in my family chose to do so due to harmful traditional practices, or forced to marry a very old man who would use me as a household slave while mentally, emotionally, and sexually abusing me, or be forced to drink the water of my husband's corpse he was bathed in, or to have my daughters stolen from me and sold as virgins to the highest price by human traffickers, or to be left to starve on the streets that I live on, or to have my legal property stolen from me without any legal protections, or be rejected by everyone in my family as an evil person for causing my husband's death, or having every human right violated with no recourse or any policies standing up to protect me, or being rejected by the women of my church because I'm no longer married and a widow, or experience an irreversible descent into poverty with no hope to provide food or shelter for my family and left alone. Yes, being born a citizen of the United States gave me advantages when I found myself at the disadvantage of becoming a young widow. I suffered, but I also found strength, hope, and empowerment. But most widows face deep suffering, and I want to speak to that now. You see, suffering arises from our frustration. Suffering arises from the deluded thinking about life itself and its adversities. Specifically, it comes from the deluded fact that we lack the power to overcome the obstacles that confront us. We don't suffer because we face obstacles. We suffer because we face obstacles we can't overcome. And widows face the worst of them. The state of numbness, depression, is an overwhelming sense of powerlessness, and this is what's being felt. It's a mistaken belief that we cannot face the challenges. The goal is to create an undefeatable mind for widows. Although we can't control what happened to us, we can train our minds to attack and be undefeatable day after day, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, until the obstacles fall or we do. An undefeatable mind isn't one that feels discouraged. It's one that continues on in spite of it. Even when we can't find a smile, even when our endurance is all spent, possessing an undefeated mind means never forgetting that defeat comes not from failing, but from giving up. An undefeated mind doesn't fill itself with false hope, but with the hopes to find real solutions. Real solutions that we may not want or like. An undefeated mind is what grants us the creativity, the strength, the courage, the necessary to find the real solutions and what it will take to accomplish them. Not seeing obstacles as distractions or setbacks, but as the very means to capture the lives that we want, that will bring us into balance and personal happiness. Possessing an undefeated mind is behaving as though it is already here. We attempt everything we can, and after that, we attempt everything we can't and find that in full understanding that we will be victorious if we don't give up on ourselves. Every obstacle creates some kind of value. This I know. Once you understand the life force that is within you, that is strong, there will be nothing you can't face. Nothing. Show me a person who has struggled through great adversity, come out the other side more resilient than before, and I will show you the most wise, strong, empowered people on earth. They are called widows. When you are someone who stands up for people who face injustices like widows, you will not only face obstacles from your own experience, you will face a whole new level of pushback from standing up in an area that has gotten comfortable with neglecting what matters. It's your responsibility to keep going and keep standing up for the truth that widows are underserved, and yet widows matter greatly. That is the message we send to the world on International Widows Day today and always. I invite you to become an undefeatable in mind, body, and spirit and continue to lead the charge for change for widows around the world. God is for us, with us, and ahead of us. There is nothing to fear and much to face head on. Together, we do this because it's the right thing to do for millions of voiceless widows and fatherless families who cannot do it for themselves. But know they would welcome it with open arms if given the opportunity. A formidable woman is a terrible thing to waste, and we continue raising awareness of her needs until they are met with grace and compassion that every human being deserves. Learn more at modernwidowsclub.org under Advocacy and join our movement to empower widows. Thank you.